yesterday, about 60 degrees. Today, about 6, or at least that's how it feels. Started to do a nice jog. I said, no, not today. I'll jog at the gym. Over the weekend, I was out of town in a hotel. So I started Netflixing. Is that a word? Netflixing? Well, I just made it up. I started Netflixing. New Year's, was it New Year's Eve? No, because I was at an event New Year's Eve. It was the 30th. And I saw the trending movies, and one of them was Don't Look Up. I don't know if any one of you have come across that movie or heard about it or even seen it, but very good movie. It wasn't a like blockbuster material, but it was well written, well directed, had Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep as the U.S. president, and I forget the other big actress, but they played at least Leonardo and the other actress that I forget. They played astronomers in the movie. They saw a comet coming towards Earth. What wouldn't be the first time you saw a movie like that, or with that, with that theme. But it made me think, because I guess the reason why they titled the movie Don't Look Up is because there were a lot of conspiracy theories. It was a comet, it wasn't. It's gonna be deflected. We'll blow it up, that type of thing. What we go through now, right, with this with COVID and all the new other strands. Everyone has their ideas, and so this movie related to that, with the exception of, instead of COVID, it's a comet. And it amazed me in a movie because they were doing a campaign rally, the president saying, don't look up, because if you looked up, you would have saw the comet was visible at some point, right? So it's like, no, the astronomers are trying to scare you, just don't look up. And I laughed a little because I'm like, yeah, okay, don't look up. You're walking down the street, you almost can't help but not look up, right? It's the sky. You look up every now and again. And the comet is getting closer and closer and closer. And then finally someone at this big campaign rally, outdoor rally, looks up and says, holy you lied to us. Talking about the president. You lied to us. Then everyone else starts looking up, and it's like, there it is. And I said, it amazes me how people can be brainwashed to the extent of not looking up. Now, if there were any Jehovah Witnesses watching this movie, which they probably wouldn't, they wouldn't claim to have watched it, because it's bad language, not really heavy sexual content, but it's something that they wouldn't admit to watching. But if they did, they would say, how foolish of these people not to just look up in the sky because, government said so. Don't look up, and we won't look up. But they do the exact same thing within their organization, right? And we can use the same words. Don't look up. Don't look up us. Don't look up certain things on the internet. Don't look up apostate material. Don't look up our history, right? Don't look up. This is your movie. You ain't know that? They made that movie for you, right? It relates to so many different things, and that's why I suggest this movie. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Look it up on Netflix, right? Because at one point in the movie, they were saying the government, the president, don't look up. And then you had this other side saying, no, look up, look up. And that's what I want to say to you. Look up, do research. And like I said in one of my earlier posts, if you come back saying, I did all the research I can, outside research, not research within jw.org. I did all the research and brought me right back to this point. This is where I want to be. I can't argue with a person like that. I cannot debate. I wouldn't argue, but I can't even debate a person that did all their research about something, an establishment, an organization, religion, whatever you want to call it, a cult, and they still want to go, or they still want to be involved. I got no words after that. I got no words. I won't say that you're right, or, I suggest that you be in an organization like this, but I wouldn't have any words. I would say you thoroughly did your research and you're back here. That means that this is where you want to be, right? If someone was to go into the military or go to war, whatever, they did their research. They say, I know the pros and cons. I know what it's about. Did my research, spoke to other people outside of that, or people within that, whatever, people that left, people that AWOL'd, whatever. I got all the information and I still want to go. Salute. Salute. So look up, look it up, look up your religion, research your religion. They always say, I don't have to. Yeah, you do. You do. You did everything else, right? You did the hotel that you were going to stay at. You did the airline. You did the Airbnb. You did the restaurants. You did everything. You look up everything. The car that you brought, the house that you brought, the neighborhood that you're moving in. You look up everything except your organization. And you'll get some people that say, I did my research. We're not talking about jw.org. We're not talking about, other people that are involved in the organization. We're not talking about your experience at a Baptist church or a Pentecostal church, and now you're just making a comparison between that and this, right? You could have been in two wrong situations, right? It's like being in a marriage where your previous husband beat the hell out of you. Now you're in another marriage where he doesn't beat the hell out of you, but he's just as bad in other situations. That doesn't make this one better than that one. They both wrong for you. You're trying to pick the lesser of the two evils because they don't hand plates around, and you got to give your money. You're forced to give your money. They have contribution boxes. You can give at will, so you think, but you don't know that you're indoctrinated, you're brainwashed to drop money in there anyway, and probably more than the 20%. that other churches require you to give, which I think is insane. Anyhow, I don't think anybody should be made to give anything, but that doesn't make them wrong. And just because the JWs don't do that, them right. Because they do other things that are just as bad or worse than these other churches. So look up, right? Don't be like the people in the movie, not looking up until it's too late. Until it's too late. Because that's something that your governing body would tell you to do, right? It's like, no, don't do this. They already do. They already do. And you don't realize that you're in the same situation. You're in the same exact situation of this movie, of a lot of things, a lot of brainwash.
Please fasten driver's seatbelt.
Let me do that. You're in the same situation, you know? You see these cults and you see people doing mass suicides and, you know, and it's like, oh my God, you know, I could never be involved in something like that. But you are. You are. They just didn't tell you to, you know, to take cyanide. Yet. Who knows what's going to come next? God forbid. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Glad to see you guys in 2022 with me. Thank you for riding with me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And you know what I asked you to do. It ain't gonna stop just because it's a new year, right? I don't care if it's 2022, 2032, 42, whatever. Until that comet comes crashing down to earth, you should always think. So all I ask you to do is just think and look up. Love.